The Lord be with you.
All right. Before I throw you too far off here, folks, the gospel reading is coming. Okay? I've just placed it in another area of today's event. Because it has to go in the middle of the sermon. Trust me, this will be good. All right, so I had originally prepared, I think it was 96 pages, an exegetical treatise on a comparison of Die Hard and the Nativity. And it broke it down into everything because I wanted to really see, as we watch the movie, like, wow, I can see what the meaning of Christmas is. But I didn't know how Sue would take it, so I backed off on the Die Hard themed Nativity Christmas Eve presentation. I mean, it was pretty exegetically sound, but that's a theology term, kind of that you would use at Harvard or Yale Divinity School or something like that. So we're not going that direction, folks. I'm sorry. Sorry, Dick. Sorry. No, we're going a different direction here. Folks, I was, it was between the invasion and my second deployment to Iraq. I was the acting brigade chaplain. I was just a young captain. It's usually held by a major. And the brigade commander calls me up and he's like, I need you to put together a wreath-laying ceremony to remember all the guys who had passed away in the brigade during the invasion. And I'm like, fine. And now my job is, these kind of ceremonies are my thing, but we do them a lot differently than the administrative portion of the Army does it. They rehearse again and again and again, almost until you've done so many rehearsals, you're like, why are we out here doing it for real? Because it doesn't even feel like it's real by that point. You've run it to its course. So I basically just kind of gave everybody we had a few meetings, and I gave everybody their instructions. I said, all right, have everything set up. We'll do the wreath ceremony, and we'll go. The day of, I get there. And I walk up, and I ask the sound guy, are we good? And he's like, Chuck, yeah, we're good. Everything's good. The guy who's doing the national anthem, I said, is the music queued up? And he pushes the button, it starts. Everything's good. I'm like, all right, this is good. We're good to go. And then there's just a few speaking parts. And then the colonel comes up and puts it. There's a lot of people there. The ceremony starts. All right? And there's the invocation, real quick invocation. And then I step aside for the playing of the national anthem. I say, please stand. And I step aside and I'm waiting. Nothing's coming out. And I could see the guy back there, he's going like this. I mean, they had tested it. And he's pushing the button. I'm like, oh, Lord. And the colonel's just looking at me. He's glaring at me. I'm like, my assumption was that somebody had tripped a cord coming in. Because we didn't have them taped down. It was a field. So it had to be that. So I walk over real quick to one of the soldiers. I said, do you know the national anthem? And he's like, I can sing it. I said, just get up there and sing it. He didn't know the national anthem. In the way that we would know the national anthem. And as the poor kid goes through it, and there's stars, there's rockets, red glare, there's something about a turkey or something, I don't know. It got done, and I could just see the glare still. And I knew that at this moment of my career, I was officially a goat. I had failed because it's going to come on me. It's not going to come on any of the sound guys that plugged everything. No, it was coming on me because and sure enough, it did. It wasn't too hard because I was just a captain acting as the brigade chaplain. So it wasn't as bad as it could have been. I mean, I could have been fired, but I didn't technically work for them. I worked for the Cav Squadron. But yeah, I was the goat that day. Folks, have you ever been the goat? Have you? You've been the goat, right? It happens all the time. Probably more than we understand. Folks, as we enter this Christmas season, there is a particular program. No, Sue, it's not that what you think it is. It's a particular program that I love. It's what I watch every Christmas. All right? It speaks to me. It is the greatest Christmas special, not movie, ever made on planet Earth. Now, I see, I was a big Christmas special junkie. All right? Remember Rudolph? Those little claymation dudes? The guy in the snow, the abominable snowman, remember? That had the cavity, remember? The toy of the Isle of Misfit Toys. Burgermeister, Meisterburger. You remember all those, don't you? Your kids would have been watching them, so you would, okay. Anyway, my favorite was Charlie Brown Christmas. The Charlie Brown Christmas. It was the greatest. It's the only one that even still stands today that has the message which we are looking for. Now it came out, what, 68? I was just born, 68. And it just speaks to generations. And it still does, and it's still on TV, thank God. It's so cool. But why this concept of Charlie Brown? I latched on to Charlie Brown at a young age. I was in Van Buren Elementary School, probably in 4th grade, I think. I went to the library. I found a weird-looking book. It was, someone had taken 2 Charlie Brown books, and back to back, put green tape on them, but that was the binding, and then stuck them on the shelf. Oh, I wouldn't put those down. I was reading them every chance I could get. I read through them. I believe even that Christmas I got a large Charlie Brown book. Summers Fly, Winters Walk. That was the name of it. I was in heaven. So I got into this, and I'm like, to me, this creation of Charles Schulz spoke, and I think it speaks to everybody. It really does. If you really think back to reading Peanuts, I know it's been since 2000 it's been 20 years since he passed. There's something about this young lad in the book. He's the goat, right? Mm-hmm. He's usually always the goat. Come on in, brother. How you doing?
Hi, welcome.
Come on in, welcome.
Sir Ryan, thanks. This is the Anglican Church.
Yeah, come on in.
It is.
Hallelujah.
We're good. Come on in. Grab a prayer book over here.
Okay.
Yeah, grab it. We'll preach you. We will walk you along. Have you guys done
We were married in the Anglican Church.
I didn't say come on up to the front seat, but
Oh, boy.
you'll be fine. You'll be fine. We just finished. Well, we haven't even done the gospel, which is good. So we changed things up a little bit this year. Usually, you do the Old Testament, New Testament, and straight to the gospel. But it's going to be read in a second here. I'm kind of giving the intro here.
I saw your ad. You were talking about carols and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, we do have the carols afterwards.
Oh, okay. How's that
Yeah, on
one?
the Methodist side.
On Methodist.
Yeah.
Okay.
But welcome.
Well, thank you.
I know it's all. Hey guys, we're here. You're all loved. Don't worry.
We went to the other one by mistake.
There starts at 6, but
Yeah, and we discovered that. I said, well, that doesn't sound right. So.
come on in. Joey's here. So, okay, so I'll bring you guys up to real quick speed, folks. Take a break for a second, okay? So, talking about, if you know, we're talking about one of the greatest Christmas specials ever, the Charlie Brown Christmas special, all right? All right, so we're on track now. And as you know, Charlie is presented in the Peanuts comics as just he's a regular guy. He's a regular kid. He's always the goat in some cases, and he's always just the kid that everybody makes fun of. He gets invited to, everybody's getting their invitations to the Valentine's Day party, and he asks, hey, where's my, and Charlie Brown, you didn't get one. They all laugh at him, He goes out there with his heart to play baseball. And he's on that mound, and he's pitching the whole game, right? And the poor guy, they're almost ready to win, and it gets knocked, his pitch gets knocked line drive through him, and he's laying there in his skivvies on the mound, right? Okay, he always tries to kick that football, right? And what happens every time? She pulls it away, and he goes flying out, boom, right? Poor kid. He tries to fly a kite like every good American kid tries to do in the fall. I can feel it. I've tried to do the kite thing too. I got it up maybe once or twice. But he's always trying to get it up, and he always faces the kite-eating tree, all right? The guy just can't win. I mean, let's face it, the poor kid. But there's something about, as you're reading about this kid, you're actually cheering for him, right? He's the GOAT. You're cheering, come on, Charlie, you can do it. You can. Sometimes he does. Sometimes he does. In fact, once he had a rash on his head. It was a baseball rash. He went to summer camp with a bag on his head, and all the kids respected him until he could take the bag off. And then poor Charlie Brown, they were like, we've been listening to this kid. I mean, I'm just telling you a story from the canon of Charlie Brown. Folks, Charlie Brown, let's face it, he's a loser. He was, right? Right? The poor kid was a loser. But he kept going, he kept trying, and we kept cheering for him. And that's good. That's good. I think it shows we have compassion as Americans. But we can relate to the kid. That's why when the Charlie Brown special comes on, I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. I can relate to this. I can relate to this. So yeah, I asked the question earlier. Have you ever been the GOAT? We've been the GOATs, right? Right? Folks, I was at a track meet. I was this big. I was at a track meet. For some reason at practice, I had started early with my friend because we were goofing off. So we were further down the track. And we finished first on this one 440 we had to do. All right, I was goofing off with my friend. But somebody, the coach, had seen me and he had been like, hey, I'm signing you guys up for the 440. You're pretty fast. He didn't realize we had probably about a good 300-yard start. All right? I get to the track meet, thinking, well, okay. And they line us up. Now, my last name's Balog. It's all alphabetical, right? So I'm going to get position number 1. All right? Inside of the track, position number 1, and then vice versa. Everybody down the line. Well, the guy who was, this is Parks and Rec track and field guys. This is not, professional track and field. This is in high school. So the guy who's running the 440 stops everybody and says, no, you can't be lined up on the line. You have to be staggered. So I watch as he walks everybody off to those little stagger lines on the track. I'm like, okay. So we get ready. Get set, go. And I'm running my heart out, guys. Right as I'm running. And I watch as number 6 up there fades into my lane. Number 5 fades into my lane. Number 4 fades. Number 3. And I'm like, wait a minute. If you stagger people in a 440, they have to stay in their lane. This is track and field. This is Park and Recs. Nobody reads the book. So I'm already at the disadvantage. 10 feet off the line as everybody fades into my lane. And they explain later, well, it's all symmetrical and geographical and mathematics, it adds up. It's like, no. If you stay in your lane, it adds up. Running my heart out. Lord, help me. Lord, help me. Lord, help. I almost got one of the guys, but his dad was standing there. And his dad was like, hurry up, son, this guy's coming up strong. And I looked at the dad like, what? You can't be helping the... At the end of the track meet, I sat there, probably feeling very much like Charlie Brown. I had 3 pink ribbons, and as you all know, the pink ribbons were the 6th place ribbons in the 3 events that I had. I was like, why? Now, I did find out later that I was a distance runner when I got to high school, so things changed like that. All right, folks, let's bring this home a little bit here. What is it about the Charlie Brown Christmas special that is so wonderful? How does it start? Charlie Brown and all the kids are out there on the ice, right? And they're enjoying winter, right? Now, a brief moment, Snoopy comes in, grabs Linus's blanket, spins him around, flies him off into a snowdrift, all right? He hits the tree, and this is where, if everybody's watched this almost every year, you would know what happens next. Charlie Brown Christmas special, brought to you by...
Dolly Madison.
Thank you. All right, that's when they said it. I always got hungry that time. Okay, go get a snack, whatever. Commercial time, I got it. Dolly Madison, I got my zinger. All right? Start the show. Now, Charlie's trying to figure out what exactly is the meaning of Christmas? He's at that age where he's like, what's this all about? I mean, every year we get gifts and stuff, and things are very commercial out there, but what is this about? So he says, this is his quest during this 30 minutes or 22 minutes. All right, first thing we know that he does is he sits down with his sister Sally, and they try to write a letter to Santa Claus. Because this has got to be what Christmas is about. Santa Claus, right? I mean, you hear it everywhere, you see it. And he's writing the list down, a bicycle, a dollhouse, a guy, and then she's like, no, wait, stop. Bless you. Let's just do cash. Just make it 10s and 20s. Okay? And Charlie Brown's like, no, wait. That's not Christmas. He goes outside. All the kids are outside playing. The snow's coming down. All right? Everybody's trying to catch the snowflake on their tongue, right? All right, now there's some controversy in this time of the special. All right? Some people would say that December snowflakes are ripe enough for the tongue. But according to, I guess, Lucy, it's January snowflakes that are ripe. So, but I mean, it's a controversy, but it still doesn't answer to the kid, what is Christmas about? Right? They take snowballs, they throw them at cans. Nope, that's not Christmas there. All right, so he goes and sees his shrink. Now we know who his shrink is. His shrink is Lucy. He pays 5 cents, probably the equivalent of $80 nowadays. All right, sits down with her, and she comes up with a plan. Charlie Brown, you need involvement. Now that makes sense. Getting involved during Christmas, that's the way to connect with people, to show love, to kind of give of yourself. That's got to be the true meaning of Christmas. So we find ourselves in the auditorium. And good old Charlie, he's the director. He's going to sit there and tell this group of kids, where there's no adult supervision for some reason, all right, how to do this play. And so they start. Now they keep getting interrupted because the kids just want to play the music and dance. All right, they're on the stage dancing and everything. So what is going on? Charlie Brown, is that the true meaning of... No, it's not. Finally, someone has the big idea. They're like, we can show you what the true idea of Christmas is. We need a Christmas tree. We need the biggest, best Christmas tree that Charlie Brown could go buy. And if you know what I'm thinking, go into some of these hotel lobbies or the lobbies of some of these big companies, and I'm not talking about just the 6-foot tree. I'm talking about the 12-foot tree. The ones that they need the cherry picker to get up and get on the top, okay? That's the kind of tree. So in my mind, as I'm watching this, I'm thinking that Linus and Charlie Brown are going to be kind of two-man in that back to the auditorium, right? Well, they get there, and they're walking around, and for some reason, were aluminum trees even a thing?
Yeah, because Lucy wanted a pink
Yes,
aluminum
well, okay,
tree.
well, thank you. I didn't know. I was born in '68. I have no clue. All right, so aluminum trees were a thing. So, you know, they're knocking on them, and okay. Finally, he finds this one, and I think Linus even says, do they even make wooden trees anymore? That's kind of funny. It's just this dinky little tree, probably about that big. It's all scraggly. The needles are falling off. He picks it up. I said, this one looks like it needs some love. We'll get this one. They take it back to the auditorium. And I watched this, I had to refresh myself before we came tonight. They put it down, and the reaction from all the kids is, boy, Charlie Brown, are you dumb. You've done dumb stuff before, but you really are dumb. What a blockhead. They all start laughing. Even Snoopy, his best friend, right? Man's best friend, laughs too. And Charlie Brown is sitting there. All I want to do is find out the true meaning of Christmas. That's all. He even puts his head in the sky. Can anyone tell me the true meaning of Christmas? Enter Linus. He comes up and, sure, Charlie Brown, I can tell you the true meaning of Christmas. He walks out on the stage. And he quotes the Holy Gospel of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ according to Luke chapter 2, verse 8. And in the same region there were shepherds out in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were filled with great fear. And the angel said to them, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy, that will be for all the people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David, who is Christ the Lord. And this will be a sign for you. You will find the baby wrapped in swaddling clothes and lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly hosts, praising God, saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace among those with whom he is pleased. The gospel of the Lord. Now, I just didn't say gospel of the Lord, but quiet fills the auditorium. He walks back to good old Chuck. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown. Folks, this was a big moment because for the first time in this entire presentation, Charlie Brown smiles. You see, Charlie Brown had an encounter with Jesus. Once he found out the meaning of Christmas, he had an encounter with the living God, with Jesus Christ. He picks the tree up, big smile on his face. He goes outside. As he looks up in the sky and he reflects on it again. And the angel said, Fear not, for behold, I bring you good news of great joy, that will be for all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, who is Christ the Lord. He encounters Jesus. That's who he encounters. And he goes home. Now we know the rest of the story. He puts the tree down. There's one more Charlie Brown moment. It flops over with the one bulb on it. Good grief, I killed it. All right. But then all the people, all the kids come together. And what do? Merry Christmas, Charlie. They start singing, Hark the herald angels sing. We just read what they sung. Glory to God in the highest. And on earth peace among those with whom he is pleased. Wow. Guys, this kid's the goat. This kid's the loser. Do you see the connection? He came for all people. He came for the ordinary people. He came. His birth was, it wasn't even ordinary. If it was ordinary, it probably would have been in a house with a midwife, right? It was in a manger, in a stable. No glorious hay. I mean, the angels did show up. That was kind of cool. I mean, but how would you feel, mothers, if you gave birth to a baby and all of a sudden a bunch of scraggly shepherds show up? You don't know who they are. They're just a bunch of guys from the field watching their sheep. Whoa! And they say, we've come to pay homage to the King. Wow. Folks, that's what it means so much to me when I see that. And you can connect to it. Now, if you have another show or something else you connect to on Christmas, do it, use it. But remember, the true meaning doesn't lie in everything we see around us. It's cool that our society and culture celebrates. I really do think it's cool. We still celebrate Christmas. Well, it's just 2,000 years we're still celebrating the Christ Mass. Whoa! Now that's cool. That is really neat. They won't take it away. We'll always have Christians. As long as we keep standing strong and remember the true meaning of it, we'll be good to go. But here's the thing. We need to take hope and joy. Like I said, when we're in Advent, we wait for Christ to come, and we've seen him come in the past. We also anticipate what he's going to do in our lives this year, right? Every single day. It's not just today or tomorrow. It's every single day we experience his advent and his coming into our lives anew. Mm-hmm. That is cool. And that's something we need to realize. And then there's hope, right? There's hope for the perfect, being with him once we've passed away. The hope, whew, we made it, we're done. Folks, here's what I truly believe in the bottom of my heart. For all of us goats or losers or people that, hey, we're not super famous or super cool, Jesus looks down at us every single day. And he can point at you and say, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. I care for you, you are special. You are everything to me. Even if you were the only person on the face of this earth, he would still be born and die for you to save your soul. Wow. Now I know there's more dynamic. To be born, there's got to be more than one person. Okay, got it. I got it. All right. But he would do that for you. To understand that the true meaning of Christmas is about to understand that it's important for every day of your life. Because when you have a goat moment, like the guy who slid off in the ditch today, and I had to pull him out, that was a goat moment. That was embarrassing. This was a grown guy. He's in the ditch in mud. I mean, we're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to be able to get out of that. He can rest assured that he's not a goat. No, the Lord loves him just as much. In fact, the Lord sent some people around to help him, right? We pulled the guy out of the ditch earlier. But I mean, the Lord loves us. When I was in that race, the Lord still loved me. I had 3 6th-place medals. I was still loved. I didn't have to worry about what Bob thought over on the baseball field or what my neighbors thought when I came home with 6 pink ribbons, Because I knew God loved me. And I was fine in his midst. Wow.
Amen.
Folks, take that and run with it. I mean, yes, we have good moments. God bless us all. We will. I mean, don't worry. Somebody might win the lottery in here. Woohoo! I got it. Somebody might do really good in something. We got kids in school, straight A's. I got it. God blesses us with good things all the time. But there's going to be times when we just feel like, oh, I just can't go on. Everybody's laughing at me. I'm the goat. What's going on? And you say, Lord, and he says, don't worry. I'm still here and I got you. That's what Christmas means. Amen.
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 All right, folks. This is exciting. Hi, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.